Creating content is difficult. There are a lot of things you have to do. There are a lot of things you have to balance. As I get older, I'm doing more of the work. In this behind the scenes, Papa Mage will tell you a little bit about balance. No, we're not going to talk about the magic card balance, but real balance as a content creator. And we're starting right now. Reaching and teaching young mages of all ages. Welcome, Young Mage. I'm Rhino. Before we get started, let me know in the comments below what is your favorite YouTube channel. It doesn't have to be mine. And now for the behind the scenes with Papa Mage.
Thanks, Rhino. But first, let's talk about what balance is not. Okay, balance is not, it doesn't have anything to do with the equipment that you have. It has nothing to do with the metadata that you put into the YouTube channel or on your blog or anything like that. It has nothing to do with the search engine optimization stuff that you do. It has nothing to do with marketing, okay? It has nothing to do with promoting your content. Balance has nothing to do with that. In this case, balance is three things. Number one, it's what works best for you, all right? What works for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to give some examples of what worked for Rhino. Number two is going to be what works for your viewers or your tribe. We like calling them your tribe because, you know, that's got a really cool feeling to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about some of the examples of things that we tried and changed back and stuff like that. And the third thing is the positive support structure, your positive support structure. And we're going to give some examples of positive and negative comments and the support structure that Rhino has in doing his content. So, number one, what works for you? All right, the first thing is how much time can you put into the content? When we first started out, of course, we tried a lot of things. It took quite a bit of time to get things going. And you know, part of that was, okay, what resources do we have? How can we record this? And we had really crappy camcorders and the sound was horrible. But you know, one thing that you want to do and what works best for you is spend about 20% of your time, okay, 1/5 of your time, learning how to be better. Learn how to use your time better, your energy better, and all that. So, you know, when we first started out, we had a goal of 1 video per week. And that was a pretty tough goal, especially for Rhino. He was dying at the time. And now he's gotten a lot more comfortable. We generally do about 3 videos per week. It kind of depends. It depends on streaming schedules and stuff like that. But, you know, so we do a lot more now. Our audio and our video is a lot better. We've got a streaming rig. And, but, you know, part of the resources is we pay for our own giveaways in a lot of cases. That is, you know, becoming less and less now. But most of our giveaways have always been from our own collection. So, what works best for you time-wise, resource-wise, energy-wise. But you know, the most important piece here is what is your why? Why are you producing this content? In our case, we couldn't find any content for new or young players. So since we couldn't find any content for new or young players, we decided to create that content ourselves. So, you know, we put our own energy in it. And when you first start out, don't expect any sort of fame or glory or heck, even any sort of compensation, because that's a long way out. Ad revenue is minuscule, and you know, we don't have a lot of patrons. It's by no means enough to support the amount of time that we put into it. But we have a passion for this, and we want to help others. And you know, as we help others, other people have helped us. All right, number 2 is what works for your tribe, the people that follow you. Okay. The reason why we like the term tribe is because the tribe generally has a leader, and you are the leader. So it's a good analogy for Rhino, that he's the leader. And as a leader, you get to decide on the direction. And, you know, then your tribe decides if they want to follow or not. And in some cases, they won't follow that direction. You want to go on a strange path, and you started out wanting to do videos about cool card combinations, and then you want to get into extreme deck techs of pro deck builders. That, you know, those are 2 different audiences. So all depending on what your content is, your audience will change. So part of this is going back and forth with your audience, your tribe, and decide what you like to do and what they like to watch, or what they like to contribute with, what they like to engage on, and stuff like that. And you decide, well, you know, if I lost these people, do I want to try to gain them back? That sort of thing. So as a leader, you've got to get that feedback going back and forth. So some examples of things that have happened. There are people that comment on Rhino's videos, of course, and you know, in a lot of cases, they were complaining about how it seemed like he was reading from a card. He was reading from a script. Well, he wrote the script, and we go over the script a lot to make sure that it sounds fluid and all that. And it's something that's very good for him to do. But they didn't like that. So what we did is we changed some things up and had him going off of bullet points and things like that, and just talking about things. And then people would come back and say, well, gee, why don't you get to the point? That video is really long. So it's kind of a back and forth as to, okay, how much do you want to script versus how much do you want to just, you know, tell from your heart. So, you know, that's like our big #1 example of going back and forth with our tribe. There's other things where we talk about certain types of decks, and people would like those videos, or sometimes they wouldn't. And you know, there's some big projects that we would do that we would get hardly any views on, and we thought it was a really cool thing, like upgrading the welcome decks so that they would be more competitive. We thought that would be kind of fun, but we really didn't get a lot of views on that, so we're not doing that. So the critiques are those, generally they're very thoughtful comments about things that we could do better, and we take a lot of those into consideration and move on from there. But the thing that the most important part of this is, who are you helping the most? All right. There are the 1%ers, the people that engage, that complain, or that have a good criticism or something like that. And you have to look at that and say, okay, does that align with our why? Our why is to reach and teach young mages of all ages. If somebody were to come in and say, well, you need to really focus in on the pro players, well, that doesn't really fit our why. It doesn't fit our whole reason for the channel. So we have to really keep that in mind as you do that. So even though somebody might say something that could help you, change your channel for the better, you got to make sure that that stays in line with what you want your channel to be. Because after all, if you don't enjoy doing it, you're not going to do it. Okay, and the third thing, the positive support structure. Okay, this is probably the hardest thing out of all of this, out of maintaining this balance, because #1, it's easy to fall behind. You can say, okay, I'm going to do one video a week, and then and you set a schedule. Okay, it's going to go up on Wednesday. Well, Tuesday comes along, and you got the your basic idea, but you haven't filmed it yet, and then somebody in the family gets sick, or you have to do something that's unexpected, and you don't get the video up. And it's like, well, okay, I'll just push it off to Thursday. Nobody cares, and then something else comes up, and that compounds itself in the future when you're doing 3 videos a week. And it's like, okay, I get a video up on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Monday morning comes around and you realize that, well, Sunday you took a nap and you didn't get the video done. So you have to be really organized, and it's easy to fall behind. Now, also, to compound that even more, it's easy to give up. There's a lot of times when you just don't feel like you're making an impact. You're not getting anywhere. You're not getting that positive vibe coming back. And it's easy to just go, okay, nobody's interested. I'm just going to give up. Another thing about this is it's easy to focus in on negative things. Now, what I want to do is I want to bring up some of the negative comments that Rhino has gotten. And I also want to bring up some of the positive comments so you can get a good, back and forth with that. So, the first one here is something simple. You're a disgrace to the Magic community. And it's like, okay, how? Why? I don't understand. It just doesn't, there's not enough information there for us to go, okay, why are we a disgrace to the Magic community? So that's easily dismissed. Now, this next one here, I've censored out some of the words because, we are a family-friendly channel, and this automatically got trapped by the YouTube bad word thing. And, you look at it and you go, okay, they don't even know basic English or sentence structure, and they're complaining about us. And they're being rude. And I did a little further digging. It looks like it's a throwaway account. Somebody just wanted to get in and just agitate things. So I don't know. I don't know why people do stuff like that. It's just annoying, really. Okay, this one here. All right. I got access to the Magic Arena beta, and Rhino got in and he did some playing once the non-disclosure agreement dropped, and we did some streaming, stuff like that. And we get this comment about, a little nerd with no skills, and why does he get it? And shame on you, wizards. And it's like, okay, well, you have no idea what's going on. Yeah, and this was obviously somebody who just didn't pay attention to other things going on our channel, so it's a throwaway thing. Now, this last one is really cool, and this it takes up whole screen, I know, but why did this kid get the deck so early? This is the Challenger decks, and somebody saying, I will play F&M when Wizards sent me those decks. It's like, okay, well, when this first came up, I was about ready to do the ban on this, but it's like, no, we're going to let it happen. And then we had all these people come in and just land blast this person. And as you go down and you see people saying, okay, you're obviously jealous, and you don't know anything about what's going on, and all this stuff about experience. And when this big comment came in, I took a screenshot of this, and I think it was probably within 5 minutes after I took the screenshot, the original person had removed their comment, their initial comment. So that was so cool, and that the community just kind of came back in a very positive way and just took this whole negative thing that you could easily go, oh wow, that's negative, what's wrong with me? And you could see the positive influence coming back. Okay, so now we want to get into some of those more positive comments. Now, this was on Twitter, and yes, this is Josh from the Command Zone. Who is this kid? He's awesome, great content, Rhino. Thanks for helping me prep for the Amonkhet pre-release. This was so cool. You know, we find out what the game mechanics are beforehand, come up with examples of them, and show people how they work. And he, it was a really cool boost and a very, very positive feel for it. This one right here was someone who was basically just starting out, and then they saw that we do deck techs on upgrading Planeswalker decks. Try to make them a little bit more competitive, a little more fun, and show people how you can go through and you can take a deck that is not designed to be competitive, and how you can think about it and make it work better. And so it's stuff like this that really is, you know, very positive and really helps, you know, helps motivate us in a lot of cases. This one right here, where the person they're moving from Pokemon to Magic the Gathering, and you know, it shows that we're reaching the audience that we wanted to reach. We want to reach new and young players, and specifically young players. And having Rhino being young, showing them that, hey, this is how you can do this. You know, it's somebody that you can look up to or look down to because he's shorter than some people. And you know, it's just that sort of positive vibe there. Okay, this one I know is really long, taking up whole screen, but this person just started. They're 28, and this was a couple of years ago, yeah, and they're like amazed that they're learning from a 10-year-old, and they're fine with that. They like that. Okay, so now this one, Rhino's been in the Magic community for a while, and this is another content creator just coming in and kind of, you know, saying, oh, hey, you know, wish we were as cool as he is when we were that young, and like, oh, hey, we're not even that cool now. And you know, it's just that fun sort of positive vibe that really helps out. And then this last one is someone talking about me in particular, and how encouraging my son to do this and helping him out and spending that time with him. You know, there's a lot of people that don't get to spend a lot of time with their kids. And, you know, I feel fortunate that I do get to spend that time, but, you know, it's with other sacrifices. So there is a lot of other sacrifices that we have to make in order to do this. So you know, it's very, but I feel it's very important, and I'm glad that someone notices that we're doing that. So, you know, the important thing about all of this, to have that positive support structure, is to have a way of insulating yourself from all of this negative stuff. So you've seen some of those super negative comments, and you know, having other people in the community that are willing to fight for you, to help you out, and on top of that, having an accountability partner. All right, I know this seems a little strange because I'm not only an accountability partner, but I'm also his father. So, you know, you think, well, what I say, you do. But, you know, a lot of things that I do with Rhino, as far as the channel goes, is I'll say, what do you think you need to do? You know, is this helping your channel grow? Is this what you need to be doing right now? And, you know, there's times that he thinks about it and he goes no, or he says yes, and sometimes he feels ashamed that he didn't do more. And it's not my intent to make him feel shame. It's my intent to get him thinking about what he's doing. And you know, he has been doing this for quite some time, and yes, he has been a 9-year-old, a 10, an 11-year-old, and now a 12-year-old. And He does things that a kid does, but as he's growing, he's becoming more of a youth. He's taking on more responsibility, and so as an accountability partner, I'm making sure that he thinks about what he needs to do. And so as other content creators out there, the ones that have accountability partners, people that say, hey, are you doing what you think you should be doing? Are you going the right direction? You know, those are the people that succeed. Those are the people that continue to grow. It's the people that don't have that person helping them out, that helps insulate them, that when a negative comment comes in or a criticism, and, you know, you need to have that person that comes in that points to all the positive things. And so that's why I take these screenshots and show some of the really negative things and show a lot of the positive things, because a lot of the positive things is incredibly important. You need to have all of that to just keep going and produce the content that you want to produce. Now, there is one final thing. I know we had 3 things, and one more thing. And it's a final thought. All right, the content that you want to produce, or the content that we produce, or whatever, if you don't create it, who will? All right? It's that simple. Only you can be you. No one else can be you. So what you create is from you, and no one else can produce that. No one can create the same thing. So if you want to be a content creator, just do it. All right? You probably have everything you need in a smartphone. You can do the videos, you could record the audio, you can make the thumbnails, you can do all that stuff right in a smartphone. You can do it yourself. But you should be part of a group that will help keep you on track and make sure that you do what you say you're going to do. That's it. That's plain and simple. You know, you've got to create your own stuff. And if you like what we create, comment, engage, tell us that you like it, and do that little extra thumbs up and that extra drop in and say, hey, how you doing? Or if you can spare $1 each month, $1 a month, that's 3 packs a year. Sign up for Patreon, and that $1 goes so far to help with streaming rigs and stuff like that, and it just gives a good feeling to say, hey, I've got this many patrons. I've got this many patrons now. These are the people that are really interested in what I'm producing. And if that's not our channel that you like, do somebody else's channel. Become a patron of theirs, all right? We're not talking a big commitment. $1, and almost everybody can afford $1. So that is probably one of the biggest pushes. The positive comments, the thumbs up, the engaging, and then just becoming a patron is just an incredible help for any content creator.
Thanks, Papa Mage. Did you know that I've been working on this channel for almost 3 years? What do you think is the best part of my channel? Let me know in the comments below. I have more videos coming out soon showing you how to upgrade decks and play Magic better. So subscribe now by hitting that Rhino down below. And don't forget the bell notifications so you don't miss a single one. These videos are possible because of my generous patrons and sponsors. Check out the videos on the side. They will interest you. I have more videos coming out soon. So until then, Rhino out. Get older, I'm going...